Thank you for joining me on this video. If you could please say your name, major, and year.
Yeah, Garrett, my name is Matthew Graham. I'm a neuroscience major here at WSU, and I'm a junior. So,
Awesome.
yeah,
And
yeah.
Matt, what do you think some struggles, or what are some struggles that freshman students face here at WSU?
Oh, for me, it was definitely the freedom I had. I didn't have my mother telling me that I needed to be in bed every night at like 10 o'clock, so I was staying up to 2 p.m. 2 a.m. Sorry, 2 a.m. sometimes, well, most of the time actually. So I didn't have that kind of guiding hand there to remind me that I needed sleep. And honestly, I think that was the biggest challenge is balancing the the freedom that I had with not having to go to school and stay at school for 6 periods in a day or however many periods in a day. I had time in between where oh, do I want to study? Not really, because I have this time I usually never had. So that was really I think the biggest struggle for me.
Mhm. Awesome. And what would be a piece of advice that you would give to freshman students?
Oh gosh, you gotta form good study habits early, like freshman year. So I think that's why it can often be construed as the hardest year, because you come here and it's going back to that freedom thing I was talking about. You don't realize that when you have a year where you're just kind of man, I have so much freedom, I'm gonna do whatever I want, and you can still kind of get by in the classes because they aren't that hard. When you go into your sophomore year, you start taking classes in your major, maybe, and they start to get harder. And then you actually have to study for a lot of the tests and quizzes that you're taking. And if you don't have a solid base, I think that's one of the toughest things to get on. I think that's something I struggle with still. So it's yeah, solid academic studying base freshman year. I mean, you're gonna have fun. It's college. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You're gonna have a good time. So just be secure in knowing that, but also realize that you need to dedicate some time to your academics, no matter how easy they may seem or boring. It's oh, just UCOR, but yeah. So definitely stick on the study grind at least a little bit freshman year.
And is there anything that you would encourage freshman students to do to make sure that they get the most out of their freshman year?
I don't want to contradict what I just said with studying, because again, at the same time is I guess finding that balance. If you can find that balance early on, that's going to help you through all 4 years or more years in college. So it's still know when you've studied enough, especially if it's a class that you might not need to study as much for. So finding that balance between study time and then you gotta make sure you have some time where you're going out with the friends you made on your floor, you're hanging out with the friends you made on your floor, you're playing games, you're watching movies, you're going to football games. Definitely you gotta go to the football games. It's surreal for reals. So really making a lot of your experience here at WSU, because there's so much. Join a club. There are so many clubs on campus. There's so many organizations. There is programs going on all the time, every week. It's to not do that is just really kind of denying yourself that part of college. Join Greek life. I don't know. It's whatever floats your boat, but definitely put yourself out there, because it's part of the freedom you get is to put yourself out there.
Nice. And is there anything that you haven't said yet that you'd like to say?
Yeah, go Cougs.